Project Zomboid is one of the hardest zombie survival simulators of all time. But what if your character was best friends with a gnome who wanted more than anything to stand guard in the biggest park on the other side of the map? While this may sound like a simple escort mission, this is a story of friendship, heartbreak, and crashing a lot of cars. I'd like to introduce David, the original non-playable character of Project Zomboid, and we will get him to the Grand Park if it's the last thing we do. And after spawning in, I suspiciously quickly found a shotgun. But we know the rules, right? There are no guns in my zombie apocalypse. Plus, this is the type of guy to be friends with a gnome, so I felt like a guitar might be a better weapon for him. Unfortunately, I did not understand the severity of how populated this place would be, and I ran into a couple obstacles that would have done really well with the shotgun, but I decided to carry an electric guitar and a guitar as well. But soon enough, I had found David, is that you? And after we had time to catch up, it was time to start our little adventure. Emphasis on little, because I did not expect that this would be so difficult of a challenge, and knowing I was bitten, it was the end for me, but David could try and save him, so David, please run, go, leave. This is Hans Arias. He's like second degree best friends with David, but he's all that David has left. He might be an oddball, he might eat a whole jar of pickles in the middle of the night, but he lives close to David, so it's more like Hans' parents are friends with David's parents. And after taking a couple superficial bites, it was time to pick up David and go on our adventure. Now, our main goal was to find a car, because I'm not gonna walk across the map again for another challenge. But if we see another flamingo on gnome territory, you know we have to teach it a lesson. I mean, they're natural born enemies after all, fighting for the biggest lawn possible. That's why David wants to find the Grand Park and become the most legendary lawn ornament ever. And after a few very close attempts of finding a car, he did find one. It was a rust bucket. It was in an accident, but the keys were in the car, and there was gas, and it only conks out once in a while. And as we approached our first obstacle, the bridge, I wanted to get out and make sure things were okay up ahead. So I had David stand patrol as I went forward to go ahead and do some reconnaissance. But after finding nothing but a little bit of gas and finding myself tired at 7:30 p.m., I decided it was time to take a nap. David, do you mind keeping guard tonight? Mm-hmm. Thanks, buddy. All right, good night. And after eating a whole tub of margarine and filling the gas on the car, it was time for us to go. That's when David confided something in me, something very serious. He has never sat in the front seat before. David, if I'd only known. Let's get you in the front seat, buddy. And with that, we were off. Two pals on the open bridge to fulfill a gnome's dream of patrolling the biggest park in the world. Also, side note, I almost always pick the Sunday driver trait, so I never drive over 20 miles an hour, so going this fast is very new to me. By the sound of that popping tire, it sounds like the car is not used to going this fast either. Luckily, I knew that there was a racetrack nearby, so I left David to take care of the car while I went and looked for supplies. And the only thing I could find was a bunch of red meat to cook and a welding mask that I thought would be funny to scare David with, but that wasn't all I was bringing back. And having to accept that we only had 3 tires left, it was time to go. I mean, I was weak. I could not do anything anymore. I had to run at this point. Come on. It's time to run. And second time's a charm. Now what I realized is with my 3 wheels instead of 4, I was going a little slow. And sometimes I would come to a complete stop. And that's when I decided it was time to grab David. And do some finagling. What I did learn though is that if you drive backwards with 3 wheels, it's a little bit faster. So much faster that I thought that maybe I could add some gas since I was about to run out. Okay, all right, put the gas in there's the gas, all right, great. Right click, nope, okay. And get back in the car, we don't have time, and we are conking out, and it's time to run. Luckily, I was able to find a safe house. We were only about a third of the way there, but we were feeling confident. I mean, look at all this dry food I found that I took, but I didn't even use because I ate racetrack red meat for the rest of the challenge. Hey, David, I don't know if gnomes have to eat, but do you want hamburger?
Pizza!
Pizza? I don't know if we can find pizza, but with our luck, we found a new vehicle and it was time for David and I to get back on the road. A Kentucky Transit van, which means it had to run well. I mean, it literally has transit in its name. It's just gotta warm up, third time's the charm, and there we go. All right, and we're off. David, this thing handles like a charm, doesn't it? Oh, we're gonna get there in no time. David, you got your seatbelt on, right? And what started off as a really bad start, this ended up working out pretty well. As we rolled up onto the next obstacle, I was actually ready this time. I might have left David in the car, I might have had a huge zombie train on me, but after going through this area in the last challenge, I was ready to juke all of them. And luckily I was able to get back unscathed. Now all that was left to do was to go back, check on David, and start removing roadblocks. When I returned, I noticed David was trapped, so I got him back and took out the zombies around the van. Man, David, moving these roadblocks really tires you out. It makes you hungry. Maybe we might have to stop for some food.
Pizza!
There you go with pizza again. Where do we find pizza? But after a couple tiresome hours of moving roadblocks, I had finally cleared the path. I was feeling confident because at this point, I knew what was coming. I had figured out the roadblock and it was smooth sailing from here. Oh. Wait, there's another one. But this one didn't prove to be too much of a challenge because after hitting it once, I got out and decided to check to see if it opened. And, well, I was just able to go right through. Oh, another one. I guess I'll just get out and get this one as well. No, it's locked. Okay, well, commence plan B, which is we're gonna run into the store until it opens for us. Just a couple more tries. Boy, am I glad we have this car. And after running into it multiple times, a zombie finally just broke it down with its head, and I was, again, on my way. Hopefully no more obstacles this time, other than the ones I set on myself. Let's take a stop for a second.
Pizza!
David couldn't hold his excitement as he saw a pizza world up ahead, and he really wanted us to stop. So I did a lap trying to assess the situation, and honestly, there was no way we were stopping. David, I don't think it's possible for us to stop at Pizza World. We're gonna have to go somewhere else. I'm sorry, it's just way too dangerous. Ow, ow, God, oh, we gotta go now.
Pizza!
And after being injured at an unsuccessful stop at Pizza World, it was time for us to leave. Trying to explain as calmly as possible to David, I just got scratched. We're not stopping for pizza, okay? You cannot die. You don't even need to eat food. I'm risking my life to get you to some park so you can stand there all day. So maybe I don't want to risk my life for you to get some pizza. Sensing some anger and resentment from both sides, I checked out the motel to see if there was a place we could sleep for the night, but unfortunately it was overrun and I barely made it out again with my life. Luckily down the road I was able to find some townhouses where I'd be able to run through buildings and hopefully lose the mass amounts of zombies that were following me. As the clock rounded on 6 a.m. I had realized I'd lost the zombie horde and we'd finally be able to call it a night. Hey man, I'm feeling kind of tired and I don't really want to sleep on the ground tonight, so I'll see you in the morning. But when I awoke the next morning, I realized he was gone. He left the TV on for me to help me feel better, but nothing felt right. I even tried to make a newspaper hat to make me feel better. David loved newspaper hats. In my time of hurt, I was angry and I felt like I needed to take it out on the things that drove us away in the first place. You think you can have a party like this? You don't deserve to wear a cone-shaped hat like David did. In my eternal pain, I put on the cone-shaped hat in honor of David and promised that I would find him and apologize to him. But when I did, I noticed he was surrounded by flamingos and zombies. They were working together to tear us apart, but I wouldn't let them keep us away from each other. I would fight all of them if I had to get David back. Or maybe I could just grab him and run. But not without teaching those flamingos a lesson for taking my David away from me. But not too much of a lesson, because again, I did not want to die. Back in the safety of our home, I sat down with David and we talked it out. We both exchanged our apologies and shared some laughs over the experiences we shared. He even loved the hat that I put on in honor of him. But to me, it didn't seem like enough. So I had to tell him, hey man, I think I have a surprise for you. And as we walked further into the city, closer and closer to the big park where I would leave David forever, I knew that I had to make this pit stop for him. Okay, David, open your eyes.
Pizza!
Yeah, it's Pizza World, David. We're finally going. And then we went inside, and I realized neither of us know how to make pizza. But that's not really what mattered. It's that David just wanted to be at Pizza World with me. And while we might have started as second-degree friends, this trip really brought us closer together. And I was excited for his next journey, but I would miss him. All right, buddy, say cheese. Cheese! And now is on to the final leg of our journey. We made a couple stops for fun. David, okay, watch the door. I'll be right back, okay? Oh, David, a rifle? Should we take it? Yeah, let's do it. but we were just biding time until we finally made it to the Grand Park. We were at the final steps of our journey, which would prove to be the most challenging. I got to the center of the park, but not without a horde coming after us. I had to make sure that David would stay safe out here and clear all these zombies for him, and that's when I decided to do something I never thought I would do before. In hindsight, that ended up being a pretty bad idea. I was so freaking tired and exhausted, I could barely aim, and it only attracted more zombies. The one good thing is that when I decided to run away forever, is that all the zombies in the area would follow me, so at least I could train them out and come back to an area that would be safe for David. I tried my best to run away, but I had to fight off a couple of zombies in a darkness that I could not even see what was happening. David was there for support, and after I successfully fended off the zombie attack, I asked David for the final time, "Hey man, I'm tired. Do you mind keeping watch so I can sleep?" Thanks, man. I awoke to a calm I'd never felt before. We'd done it. We had gotten David to the Grand Park, and while I had to take out a couple lingering zombies, I did finally finish my mission. This is really nice. I could get used to this. And after spending a couple hours with him, it was time for me to leave, but something stopped me. I wouldn't. David, what if you came with me and we visited every pizza world we can for the rest of our days? For as long as we have left to live.
Pizza!
I was hoping you'd say that, buddy. And then Hans and David lived out the rest of their days going to every pizza world they could, not knowing how to make pizza, but just enjoying their company for as long as they had left to live. Thank you guys for watching the video. I really appreciate the love that I've been getting on the past couple videos I've put out. So if you want to see more of it, make sure to let me know what you think down below and hit the like button, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye guys.